Didn't have the time at that point to ask, how did you find yourself here? Right. And I never knew. I still don't know to this day when he said I lost, is that I don't know where they are.
Right.
Where I lost them. All right. And as a lieutenant, that's our job, bring our people back alive.
Right.
Right. I'll never forget when I became an officer in the fire department. And my chief said, that's your main job now, bring your people back alive. So it was really difficult doing that. I did have one person tell me I was doing an inadequate job with decon because we were trying to do it relatively fast. And I was like, yes, sir, I recognize that we're not doing this to the full extent.
Is that when you want to say, would you like to come help?
Right.
That's right. Oh, wow.
So worked all day with those who are coming in to be checked out. And that was the only day I was at St. Vincent's. After that, I worked down at the site for a couple of days.
Right.
And then realized at that point, they really didn't need my type of help anymore. It was several days in, it's recovery and construction workers.
Sure.
So,
sure. But you suffered, I think, physical injury from this as a result of all that was happening, I think. Is that right?
I did. I have, as the doctors say, an intense, but short but intense exposure.
Yes.
And so my lungs are badly damaged.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know for someone that loves to do things outside and work with your body, that's a hard thing.
Yeah. The question always is, who are you when you're not who you used to be?
Yes.
And I'm not who I used to be in
Right.
terms of my physical health and physical abilities.
Sure.
But I'm also not who I used to be in terms of sort of what 9/11 forced me to grapple with is,
Yeah.
What do I really believe about the call to follow the one who said, put down your sword?
Yes.
What do I really believe about the one who said, love your enemy?
Yes.
Right. Because I found within me such anger
Right.
that I had to really wrestle with. Am I really called to be a priest?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
All of my classmates, they went to serve as chaplains. I went right down to serve as a firefighter, EMT.
Right.
What was my real call?
Right.
Right. And my theology professor helped me wrestle with that and helped me realize, part of that's because I had special training that they didn't have. And that's what was needed at that point.
Right.
But then how do I take that into my call now? And some of what I think I do is I acknowledge, yes, I felt anger.
Right.
I desired revenge. And if I'm going to follow Jesus,
Right.
how do I deal with that? It's
Right.
not by acting on it.
Right. Right. So how do you deal with that? Because I think that's a great theological question and a great life question for most of us, actually.
So part of what I've reflected on is what 9/11 did to me personally, in terms of experiencing the trauma of the deaths that happened, the destruction that happened, my own health.
Yes.
And in reality, that is virtually, I don't want to say nothing, but the level of trauma we experienced in terms of the destruction and the people killed and the people impacted is nothing to what Syria is going through or the Ukraine's going through.
That's Facing the Wind, Season 2 of The Grit Factor. Thank you for being here. As always, it's great to have you listening in. And if you enjoyed this episode, would you subscribe, leave us a review, and share with a friend? And make sure to pick up your own copy of The Grit Factor for candid stories and lessons from leaders in the vanguards of their fields. If you have a question you'd like to ask, send me a voicemail through the link at my website at thegritinstitute.com/podcast. See you next week.